So now we're getting into the exponents intro and order of operations unit. So order of operations is a certain order you will go in when doing your math problems. And this is what you learn in pre-algebra, because when you go to algebra 1 or algebra 2, whenever you're doing algebra, basically you're going to continue to use this order. And the order, the easiest way to remember it is by saying PIMDAS, or by using the phrase, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Which is how I learned it in high school. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Because every letter at the beginning of each word stands for something. P stands for parentheses. So you always do parentheses first. That includes absolute value, squiggly lines, brackets, anything basically that looks like parentheses. You do those first. Then the E stands for exponents. So you do those second. Exponents look like this or this. And then you would do multiplication and division, whichever comes first when moving left to right. A lot of students think you do multiplication first before division. No, you do whichever comes first when moving left to right. Always work your problems left to right, the same way you read a book. And then the same for addition and subtraction, whichever comes first when moving left to right. So if you ever forget the order, you can just say PIMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So the unit on Khan Academy first goes over exponents, and exponents look like this. This is 2 to the 4th power. It does not mean 2 times 4. That's where a lot of students mess up. If it was 2 times 4, they would put 2 times 4. It is 2 to the 4th power, which means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And you can use your calculator for exponents. You can enter in exponents in your scientific calculator, but this is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16. This equals 16. Okay, so now it wants you to match them up. Well, 5 to the 4th power is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. 4 to the 4th power is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And 5 to the 3rd power equals 125. This means 7 times 7, not 7 times 2, 7 times 7, which is 49. And this wants you to write it as an exponent. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So 9 to the 7th power. And so on. 1 times itself 5 times is still 1. And if you ever get 2 to the 0 power, or sorry, anything to the 0 power, just so you know, anything to the 0 power, doesn't matter what it is. It could be 5 to the 0 power. It will always equal 1. So if you ever happen to come across that, just know this, that equals 1. 2 to the 5th power is 32. 3 to the 3rd is 27. And that's that. So exponents are pretty simple. You may get fractions, power of fractions. All you do is apply that 3rd power to the 1, which gets you 1. 1 times 1 times 1. And then 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So you apply that exponent to both the numerator and the denominator. The unit will then go into order of operations. Starts with ones with no exponents, with exponents, and supposedly these are the challenging ones, although I do not find them that challenging. So let's start without exponents. So remember the order, parentheses first. 9 times 3 is going to be first because it's in parentheses. And that's going to get you 27. So it helps to write out what step you do and then rewrite your answer out. So now what do I have left? 21 divided by 3 plus 27 times 9 plus 5. What comes next? Okay, well, I did all the parentheses. There are no exponents. Now multiplication and division, whichever comes first when moving left to right. Okay, it looks like division comes first. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So I now have 7 plus 27 times 9 plus 5. Okay, is the multiplication and division done? No, I still have this multiplication here. So 27 times 9 gets you 243. So you have 7 plus 243 plus 5, and you can just add all those together and you get 255, which is the correct answer. Okay, going on to the next one, number 2, parentheses first. 4 minus 3 is 1. So let's rewrite our answer out. We have 18 divided by 6 times 4 minus 3, which is 1, plus 6. Okay, so no exponents. Now we move on to multiplication and division. Division comes first. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now we have 3 times 1, which is 3, and then 3 plus 6 is 9. So remember, you're just going in the order. If you go outside the order, it could lead to an incorrect answer. So take it step by step and go in the order until you get comfortable doing these to where you know how to do them by, without having to do it one step at a time. Okay, so let's kind of skip around here. You want to start with the innermost parentheses first. This gets you 2. You then now have 4 minus 2. Yes, you can get integers with these sometimes. This one won't give you an integer though. 4 minus 2 gets you, so 8 minus 10, sorry, 10 minus 8 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So you have 20 divided by 2, which is 10. And that's the answer for that one. For this one, multiplication comes first. Do the multiplication first in the parentheses, which is 31. So you then have 31 minus 7, which is 24. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Okay, let's scroll down. So whenever you see this, this means division. So 40, so I'm going to do the division first because that's what comes first. 43 minus 1 is 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. Yes, I'm adding first here because I need to do the division. Fractions mean division. In order to do the division problem, I have to do this whole thing here. So that gets you 42 over 6, which is 7. 7 plus 10 gets you 17. 8 plus 5 is in parentheses. We'll do that first. That gets you 13. Division is actually multiplication would come next, but you would have to divide this first in order to even multiply. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Now you can do the multiplication. You get 91 plus 6, which is 97. So now let's switch back to Khan Academy. The good thing with Khan Academy is you get these wrong. They'll show you step by step on how to do it. Let's do the ones with exponents. Okay, so what comes first? Parentheses, there are none. Now let's do the exponents. 6 to the second power is 6 times 6, which is 36. Now, what comes first? Well, we did the exponents. Now we go on to division and multiplication. There's only multiplication here, which is 16. You now have 9 plus 36 minus 16. Okay, well, what comes first, addition or subtraction? Remember, whichever one comes first when moving left to right. You're now left with 45 minus 16, which is 29. 3 to the third power comes first, which is 27. Remember, you do addition and subtraction, whichever comes first when moving left to right. This gets you 17 plus 7, which is 24. Okay, let's match these up. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25, which is the same thing as 5 to the second power. 5 to the third power is 125. 10 to the second is 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So let's go to the more challenging ones. Okay, we want to do the parentheses first. This gets me 8 and this gets me 4. So what do I have now? 8 to the second minus 4 to the second. 8 to the second is 8 times 8, which is 64. 4 to the second is 4 times 4, which is 16. So you now have 64 minus 16, which is 48. Okay, you're going to see some fractions. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 1/2 is basically 1/2 of 20, which is 10. But you would technically do the exponent first and then the multiplication. So let's do the exponent first. 2 to the third power is 8, and then you would do the multiplication. And you get 10, and you have 10 minus 8, which is 2. So just try your best with these. Okay, what would we do here first? Well, parentheses, 5 to the second power. We'll have to do this exponent first before I can do the parentheses. This gives me 25, so I have 25 plus 1, which is 26. Then I have a minus 16 times 1/2 to the third power. I would do the exponents next. 1/2 to the third power. Remember, when you apply the exponents to fractions, you're basically doing 1 to the third power and 2 to the third power, which is 1 over 8. So you have 16 times 1 over 8. Now, what do I do next? Multiplication. This means 16 over 1 times 1 over 8. You should know how to do fractions. They're important. This gets you 16 over 8, which is 2. So you are now left with 26 minus 2, which is 24. So practice these as much as you can. Like I said, this order is going to never change. When you get into algebra and you're doing more advanced topics, you will still go in this same order, which is why you learn order of operations early on in pre-algebra. Let me know if you have any questions or need any additional videos. Thank you.